What if I told you the only thing standing between you and the life you want is how much discomfort you're willing to sit with? Because success isn't flashy. It's not what you scroll past online. It's not cars or beach houses. It's waking up early when nobody notices. It's doing the work when you'd rather be doing anything else. It's dragging yourself out of bed when motivation's gone. It's pushing through doubt, fear, and failure and still showing up. That's where real growth lives. And maybe you've had those moments. You're standing there, brushing your teeth, thinking, is this it? Am I really just surviving? You're not lazy. You're tired of pretending your potential doesn't matter. But here's the truth. Success doesn't go to the smartest. It goes to the people who keep swinging, even after round 10. The ones who want it just enough to push past what everyone else avoids. Here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. If you're okay being bad at something long enough, you'll get good. And if you can get good, you can win. Why don't more people do it? Because they want to skip the ugly part. The part where you feel clumsy, unsure, where nobody's watching and nothing seems to be working. Let's say you decide to get in shape. You buy the shoes, the clothes, maybe even meal prep for the week. But then life hits. You miss a workout. You cheat on your diet. And suddenly you're back at zero. Now contrast that with someone who just shows up. It doesn't matter if it's raining, if they're tired, if they're not feeling it. They don't chase hype. They chase consistency. And that's what wins. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being reliable, especially when you don't feel like it. Start with your space. Clean up your room. Clean up your inbox, your calendar. Not because it's trendy, but because it calms your mind. Try waking up at the same time. Go to bed at the same time. Set routines that feel like a steady beat under your day. Use your calendar to sketch out a week you'd actually be proud to live. Block time for things that move the needle. And when life interrupts, adjust. Don't abandon. And whatever you start, finish. Not because it's pretty, not because it's perfect, but because finishing changes you. It makes you someone who sees things through. And that's rare. It's easy to look tough on the outside. But mental toughness, that's what carries you when motivation dies out. Anyone can be fired up on day 1. But what about day 43, when you're drained, behind, and questioning if it's even worth it? Toughness is what happens when you keep going anyway. It's what happens when you show up with nothing left in the tank, when the wins are small, when no one claps, when no one even knows what you're working toward. The people who push through, they're not born different. They've just trained their mind not to flinch when things get uncomfortable. That kind of grit is built through repetition. It's not sexy, it's not loud, but it's strong. Keep going when it's not exciting. That's what builds you. Let's not sugarcoat it. Most people aren't stuck because they lack ability. They're stuck because they keep waiting to feel ready. But here's the truth. Ready is a myth. You'll never feel completely prepared. The nerves, the fear, the doubt, they don't go away. They just get quieter the more you act anyway. Showing up means taking the first step, even when you're unsure where it leads, even when you feel like a fraud, even when the voice in your head says, what's the point? You know what staying stuck really feels like? The frustration, the guilt, the low-grade hum of dissatisfaction that never fully goes away. Now imagine this instead. You send the email, you post the first video, you go to the gym. It's clumsy, it's awkward, maybe even embarrassing, but it's real. And more importantly, it's forward momentum. Some of the best things in life came from moments when I was terrified, but chose to show up anyway. And some of my deepest regrets, they came from moments I played small because I was scared. Don't let fear write your story. Start where you are. Show up scared. Show up messy. Just show up. Because if you don't, nothing changes. But if you do, everything might. Nobody talks about how much this really costs. Not money, not talent, discomfort. That's the real price tag of leveling up. You're going to have to walk through some things that don't feel good. Waking up tired, saying no to things that used to comfort you, choosing the harder path over and over. Let's get real. You're already paying a price. You pay it every time you avoid your potential, every time you settle for what's safe, every time you lie in bed thinking, there's got to be more than this. That's pain too. It just lingers longer. There are two kinds of pain, the kind that builds you and the kind that eats away at you over time. That extra rep in the gym, pain that builds you. That hard conversation you keep avoiding, pain that builds you. That project you keep delaying because it feels too big, working on it anyway, that builds you. And every time you resist quitting, your brain changes. The prefrontal cortex, your center for focus and discipline, lights up and grows stronger. You're not just toughening up emotionally. You're rewiring your brain for follow through. So when it feels hard, that's not failure. That's the fee. Pay it and keep going. We want breakthroughs, but we ignore the basics that create them. Success doesn't come from one big moment. It comes from repeating the small things until they matter. Neuroscience calls this neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself through repeated actions. So every time you choose to act, you write, move, focus, you reinforce a neural pathway. Eventually, that path becomes automatic, then a habit, then your identity. It starts with 10 minutes. That's enough to begin rewiring your identity. Not because the action is huge, but because it tells your brain, we do this now. You're training your brain to stop craving the quick dopamine hit of distraction and start seeking the long burn of purpose. That's not magic, that's biology, and you get to shape it. You're not late, you're just in the middle. And the middle is messy. It's where most people give up. So if you want to win, you have to train your brain to value future rewards more than comfort of right now. It's called delayed reward discounting. Your brain is biased towards short-term pleasure, but every time you choose to stick it out, to keep going without immediate results, you're breaking that bias. You're building internal trust. And with time, you become the kind of person who sticks it out long enough to win. So trust the boring part. Stick with the hard thing, because the long game isn't won in the big moments. It's won in the quiet ones, when nobody's watching and you keep showing up anyway. You weren't made to blend in. You were made to build something real. The person you want to become, they're not found in books or videos or posts. They're built in moments like this, where you choose to act when it would be easier to stall. Where you hold yourself to a higher standard, not because anybody's watching, but because you know you were built for more. It's not about being the loudest. It's about being the most consistent. You'll mess up. You'll fail. You'll question everything. But if you get back up every time, you'll eventually become someone even your past self would be proud of. So keep showing up. Stay true. Be the one. If this message hit home for you, then don't just scroll on. Drop a comment right now and finish this sentence. One thing I will stop avoiding is. Say it out loud, type it out, and make it real. And if you're serious about rewiring your brain and becoming the most disciplined version of yourself, hit subscribe. This channel is for people who are done waiting, who are ready to show up no matter what. Let's go.